In today's episode, I'm talking with Allan Laird from Hooves and Feathers about how his goat soap business grew from a simple idea into a real direct-to-consumer brand. We talk about clarifying who his customer is, what he sells, his opening offer, his product ladder, and how he guides people from first purchase to superfan. This interview is packed with value. Let's get started. Hey there, this is Corinna Bench, and welcome to the My Digital Farmer podcast. In today's market, it's not enough to just grow your product. You've got to know how to sell it too. Welcome to the My Digital Farmer podcast, where we reveal online marketing strategies and tips to help farmers like you get better and more confident at marketing. Learn how to find more customers, increase your sales, and build a strong brand for your farm. Let's start the show. Well, welcome to episode 350 of the My Digital Farmer podcast. I am your host, Corinna Bench, one of the farmers at Shared Legacy Farms out in Elmore, Ohio. I'm also the founder of MyDigitalFarmer.com, which is all about trying to help other farmers get more confident in their marketing and sales strategies so that you can grow a profitable business. How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to the show, and a big shout out to my regular listeners, my faithful ones who listen every single week. I'm so glad you're here. And if you are new to the podcast, glad you're here today. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Go check out my first 10 episodes. I always say that because they are designed to be an on-ramp into the marketing lingo. If you need some help learning the ropes, that's where you want to start. You can also get onto my email list because when you do, I'm going to send you an email every 5 days for like 3 months. And it's basically a walk through the marketing jungle. I'm going to show you what you need to know, the key fundamentals. I'm going to point you to some of the best podcast episodes so that you're really going to learn the key marketing things you need to know in a very short amount of time. So you can do that by going to mydigitalfarmer.com/subscribe. It's free. That'll get you on that list. Today's podcast is sponsored by my friends at Localine. A new year is the perfect time to streamline your sales and grow more profitably. So if you run a CSA or you sell wholesale or manage both, Localine helps you streamline your sales and scale with confidence. In 2025, farms and food hubs that used Localine grew their sales by 33%, building on the 23% growth they saw the year before. Average order values increased by 31%. I know mine did. And total order count grew by 9%. Look, real results across operations of all sizes. Localine brings everything together in one platform. They have CSA management, wholesale ordering, automated inventory, barcode scanning, a box builder, and POS so that you spend less time managing admin and more time growing your business. And switching couldn't be easier. There are no setup fees, my friends, no sales commissions, and their onboarding team will migrate your storefront for free, taking the workload off your plate. And that usually only takes a few days. As a podcast listener, you'll also get one premium feature for free for a full year when you use the code MDF2026 at checkout. So go to mydigitalfarmer.com/local-line and then enter that code MDF2026. Start 2026 organized, efficient, and ready to grow with Localine. And now back to the show. Well, I'm going to jump right into it today because I have an interview with one of my farm marketing school farmers. His name is Allan Laird. He lives in Idaho, and he is actually a retiree. I'm going to read his bio for you right now. He has an amazing story that I can't wait to share with you. He returned to his farm roots after retiring from a 46-year career in public safety. And together with his wife, Sue, they now tend to about 15 acres of land. They raise highland cattle, hogs, and poultry, and maintain sustainable pasture lands. Committed to sustainable farming, they now render fat byproducts from their hogs into lard, which they use to craft goat milk soap. And that's what we're going to be talking about primarily today in this episode, is this whole new product line and enterprise that is developed from the goat milk. So what began as a hobby for friends and family has now evolved into a promising business venture. We're going to talk through the whole process, the rise of this business from its small beginnings, the things he's learned along the way, the different pieces he's put into place in his sales funnel, and how they're all kind of working together. And this is a great episode to listen to no matter what stage of business you're in, because it's going to show you the customer value journey. You're going to see how he's addressing all the different pieces to move customers along to turn into regular buyers. And there's so many wonderful marketing lessons in here, classic marketing lessons in his case study. So I hope you listen with an open heart, take some notes, and let's dive now into my interview with Allan from hoovesandfeathers.com. Well, Allan, welcome to the show.
I am very happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to finally get you on. You've been inside of farm marketing school for a while, and I've had my eye on you. And I knew one of these days I'm going to try to convince you to come on the show and share your story because it's such a great one. Why don't you start out by telling us the story behind Hooves and Feathers? I know that's a big generalized question, but just a little bit about who you are, where you're located. Why did you decide to start this business when you did in retirement? And yeah, just wherever you want to start.
Well, hooves and feathers. My wife was a school teacher, and I was in law enforcement for about 46 years, and we decided that we wanted to quit working for other people and start having some fun. And so we did that. And then as soon as you jump into running your own life, well, you find that other people start controlling it for you,
Hmm.
and you work harder than you did when you were working. So we ended up starting with a bunch of chickens because the neighbor's chicken laid eggs in our hayfield or our haystack. And my grandson said, "What about the eggs? Can we have them? I want them." And anyway, that turned into 100 head of chickens and eggs. And then my wife said, "We need meat." So we bought cows. And then she wanted Highland cows. And so we bred our Jersey cows to Highland bulls. We got some Highland Jersey crosses. And then she wanted real Highland cows. So we bought a whole herd of them. And then my friend said, "I have some hogs. Do you want hogs?" And the price is right. So I bought hogs because I'm a sucker, I guess. It's how this seems to be working out. And then we butchered the hogs, and we needed to do something with all the fat. And you can only eat so many biscuits and so many pie crusts and still stay healthy. And I kind of like you have been working on being healthy and getting off the medicine and the prescriptions and just learning to change my diet and getting away from the doctors, the quack doctors. And so we started figuring out what we could do with the lard. And I had a daughter who had skin issues. And we started to research how to take care of them because the medicines that the doctors were giving her were not working. And started researching and found that goat milk is loaded with vitamin E, vitamin A, a lot of good omegas, and that there was a good chance of solving some of the skin problems that she had if we made goat milk soap. So we found some goat milk and mixed it in with our lard and coconut oil and olive oil and started using natural colors and scents to make good soap. It worked for her. She gave it to her friends. Her friends wanted more. You can only give away stuff for a short period of time before you start having to charge a little bit for it. So So that's how we got started. We put the feathers and the hooves together, got a hooves and feathers as our farm name, and then we started marketing soap a little bit at a time. It grew, and that's how we got started doing that.
Now, when did that pivot happen? I'm trying to get a sense of the timeline here. How quickly did the Hooves and Feathers soap line
I'm thinking that,
materialize?
well, we started with the livestock for the first couple of years, and then once we started butchering hogs and having the lard, that's when we started looking into the soap business. And that was probably about 2 years ago
Okay.
is when it first started.
Now, I really only know you within the context of the soap business. That's what you sort of talk about inside of farm marketing school. And I'm just curious
Right.
now, were you cultivating customers before that with your Highland cattle and your pork, or was it a totally different ballgame?
No, we really weren't. We were just
Okay.
supplying the friends and family with meat and eggs.
Okay.
Um, eggs, I built a customer base when I was still working at the college, so I still have some, but eggs are not a high
Right. They
high
don't make a
volume
lot.
deal. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
make a lot on that, and I don't. That's one of the things about being retired is you don't necessarily need to make a lot of money because you have
Mm-hmm.
income
Mm-hmm.
is that and it's already coming in. So um,
Yeah, that really allows you to come from a different place, doesn't it? Paint a picture. Let's focus on kind of where you are now at the goat soap enterprise
yeah,
and just help paint a picture of the early days of you beginning to develop that. Because I'm hoping with this episode to show people the trajectory and like some of the
right.
steps you think through as you're building the marketing plan for a new business and some of the roadblocks that come up and what you have to do to deal with them. So the early days, what did you sell first or where did you sell first? What were you making? Like how
Yeah.
did it all come to be?
Yeah. Well, we started with just simple bars
Hmm.
that didn't have color, didn't have designs, didn't have extra scents with them because when you're when you're working on trying to solve people's problems, you need to
Mm.
not add a whole bunch of extra things into it.
The minimum viable
So
product concept.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so we started with just what we call plain Jane. Plain Jane has nothing in it. It is goat milk soap, period. So we use the coconut oil for the antibacterial product, the animal fat because it works right into our skin. The olive oil is just a good carrier. And if you mix that with goat milk and your sodium hydroxide or your lye, when you get done, you have plain old goat milk soap and nothing else.
And
And
you learned
so
this recipe from where? Just asking, look,
I no,
YouTubing or like
I joined a how to make goat milk soap club.
Oh, okay, cool. So you learned from some
And
thought leaders and experts. Yeah.
yes, and then I learned from them and or learned from the gal that was the main
Okay.
guru on that
Yeah. Okay.
and started from that. And then she said she also told us to start with. She says, "Don't be getting complicated right off the bat, or you're going to fall flat on your face."
Hmm.
And so I probably took her at her word because
Yeah.
if she, if she knew that and she told us that, there was a reason for that. So
I want to just pause here and say that that was really wise because so many people, when they first start trying a new thing, they waste a lot of time and money figuring it
they
out
do.
when they could have just spent. You probably had to pay for that class a little bit, but like
I
think of
did. Yeah.
the time
Mm-hmm.
savings, and she just basically handed you the framework, right? Like here,
Right.
right out. That's just brilliant. Okay, so you made the
It, it,
plain Jane. You've got the
it,
basics.
yeah.
Keep going.
And then we gave it to family members
Hmm.
and started trying it out first and being sure that things would work so that we weren't just saying, hey, or try this, it's wonderful, and then
Yeah.
finding out that it really wasn't. But once we did, and then word of mouth is probably
Hmm.
the first thing that started. And it was friends and family or friends of family
Mm-hmm.
who came back in and said, "Hey, we want some more of that. We want it. It works. We like it. We we want to give it to our kids because our teenage kids have acne,
Mm-hmm.
and if they use the if they use this, it seems to work." So then we started to design facial bars because as soon as people started saying, this works and it's great, then the facial bars are made of activated charcoal, and we use Navajo healing clay, which is bentonite um,
Mm.
clay, which are what you use for mud packs and cleaning things out of your pores, so that starts making a facial bar that you can use, and that turned into a it satisfied the demand for the facials. And then we had to make men's facial bars because the women said, my husband wants one, but he doesn't want one that says Aztec mud that looks like it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
He wants one of his own. So then we had to make man stuff, which man
Man
stuff,
stuff. That's
man
great.
stuff, yeah. Uh, and it's a facial bar for men. And I mean, as the demand or as the customer base said, hey, it
Mm.
would be nice if you had, then we tried new things and went
Mm.
slow and provided it for them. And when we found out that this is what they want, this is what they ask for, this is what we made, it satisfies the market.
Mm.
So going to, you know, that, then it allows, then the next thing is people are saying, hey, we try something else. I smelled something somewhere and I really like that. And could you
Oh,
make it?
so
So
now you can even like go riff on scents, different
yes.
kinds of scents and smells and
Yep.
colors.
Yep. Because a lot of times men do not like floral,
Hmm.
oceany, um,
Yeah.
hibiscus type stuff, magnolias and things like the women do. But so we made, so we used one that's called a leather shop. It smells like saddles and bridles.
Mm.
We've got, some that are more like Old Spice, the old
Yeah.
brands of that. So, um,
So your
and then
customers were driving the product development, really.
exactly, and we listened to them, and I know
Hmm.
talk about that later on, or that was one of your prompts that you sent me was how does your customers work,
Yeah.
and our good customers have been with us, steady. That those are my VIP people. They're the ones that got a coffee cup this Christmas,
Hmm.
and and they're the ones that say, if you would try marketing this a little bit differently, or if you would make this, I'm sure that other people would buy it. And they're the ones that are also word of mouth
Hmm.
advertising for me.
Hmm.
So I don't pay for anything as
Hmm.
advertising because I don't really need to. I don't remember one of our farm marketing school meetings that we had online, our Zoom
Yeah.
classes. We were, or maybe it was the one-on-one with you. We were talking about getting, how do you get started? How do you build your customer base? And I said something about that I really didn't want to go to farmers markets or bazaars. And I
Hmm.
recall that the advice that you gave me was that might help me build my customer base a
Hmm.
little quicker. I still don't like going to farmers markets and bazaars,
Hmm.
but when you go and the frustration was that the first bazaar that we went to, I took our entire inventory and I sold our entire inventory at the very first
Oh.
shot. And I came home with nothing. It takes 6 weeks to cure a bar of soap. So when
Mm.
you make it today, you cut it
Mm.
tonight, and you put those bars onto the rack. 6 weeks later is when you can market them.
Mm.
So you have no market or no product to market for the next 6 weeks. That was the frustration that I had to
Yeah.
start with, is because it actually sold and it sold fast, which gave me some satisfaction. It gave me some encouragement. but it gave me some, okay, now I need to figure out how am I making soap
Yeah.
and how do I keep it on the rack, on the curing rack so that it will
The
inventory
pipeline. Yeah, the
in the,
pipeline's always.
into the manufacturing pipeline. So it's kind of like planting
Yeah.
the seeds in
Yeah.
your garden, in
Right.
your fields,
Right.
knowing that you're going to get tomatoes in down the road. So I had to figure out how to make that work, and that wasn't something that I knew how to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know when you breed a cow, you have 9 months until you have a calf,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have another 2 years before you have meat. It's the same process. It's just now
It's
we're
just,
doing it in soap, and it's a 6 week turnaround.
yeah. Well, and
So
that I that's a great example of bumping up against an edge as you're growing and
yeah,
scaling. You discover, oh, if I'm playing at this level, at this table, I need to have a workflow that looks more like this. And you just don't know that when you're first
yeah,
growing.
no,
And there will be another edge that you bump up
that
against
you bump
eventually
right
too, right?
into, yeah.
That's
Well,
part of the fun.
I started. I mean, I've got a grandson right across that lives next to us, and I thought, okay, he needs to learn how to make soap. So on Saturdays and Sundays, we make a lot of soap,
Mm,
and he's now 14, and he's smart enough to. I can say we need to make soap, and he makes the soap, and I
you
just
can
kind of
do.
watch, which is good, except when he gets ready to go to college or gets ready to do something
Mm,
different, or this
yeah.
is not his thing anymore. Then I'm going to bump up against another edge.
Hmm.
So it's like, where's my labor? So
Right. Well, you still have 4 years to figure that out.
I do,
And I
and
like to believe that God will provide when the
I've got
time
more
is right.
grandkids too. So
Yes.
yeah,
Today's podcast is sponsored by my friends at citizensalmonalaska.com. If you run a CSA and you're always looking for value-added products that feel aligned with your farm but don't create more work for you, I want to tell you about Citizen Salmon Alaska. This is my 5th season partnering with them, and we keep coming back for a really simple reason. It works, and I genuinely love their product. Our CSA members love it too. The wild sockeye salmon is a standout, and the scallops disappear fast. And I just trust the people behind the business. Citizen Salmon is a small, family run seafood company working directly with independent fishermen out of Homer, Alaska. They offer wild sockeye salmon, halibut, black cod, shrimp, and even in house smoked seafood, which makes it an especially easy add on for CSA farms. Here's why this partnership is such a win for farms like mine. I get to expand my product suite without taking on fulfillment. I promote Citizen Salmon to my audience. My customers order directly from their website using a farm-specific code. Citizen Salmon ships the frozen fish straight to them, and I earn a commission without handling inventory, packing, or delivery. And the timing just works. Halibut in the spring, salmon as the summer approaches, and beautiful seafood offerings for the holidays. They're currently signing up new farm partners through April. So if you're curious whether this could be a fit for your CSA, head to citizensalmonalaska.com and reach out to Aaron to get the conversation started. That's citizensalmonalaska.com. Wild seafood done the right way, and a partnership I'm proud to recommend. And now, back to the show. So what problem were you originally trying to solve for customers? You mentioned the skin issues. Was there anything else that you began to notice people were coming to this product for that maybe surprised you that you didn't realize was a thing?
it did because the first thing, I mean, when when we started farm marketing school, and you introduced crap, what's his name? The guy that tells us how to write the book.
Don Miller?
John Miller, yes, and he
Yeah.
talks about. Thank you. He
Hmm.
talks. I got 2 copies of it in the bookshelf,
Building
and
a
it's
story brand. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
story brand. And we're talking about how to build your story brand, and it talks about what are your problems that you're solving for your customers. What do you want to do? And that was the first thing that I started with was the skin. but everybody doesn't have skin problems.
Yeah.
But everybody wants nice soap laying on their bathroom counter when their customers come.
Mm.
Everybody wants something that moisturizes their skin. Everybody wants things that they can use for gifts.
Mm.
When it's Valentine's Day, when it's Christmas. I mean, our biggest season so far in the last 2 years has been the pre-Christmas sale. So
Mm-hmm.
between November and Christmas,
Yeah, makes sense.
it is a go fast
A
time of the
lucrative
year.
time for you.
Very lucrative time. Yes. January goes back to our standbys. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be the people that are just buying their one box a month, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's good. There also isn't any Christmas bazaars in January.
Mm-hmm.
There sometimes is a Valentine bazaars that we can go get up on, but I mean, right now is a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we also talk in the farm marketing school about having seasons,
Yep.
and you suggest that we have at least four of them, and and I
Marketing peaks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, mark the peaks that we're dealing with, and so that's where I came back with, after listening to your podcast on the 12 days of Christmas. Um, it goes back to, I need to go back to my library and see what we've got, what can we do, and how am I going to work that? Because even though I know that we're supposed to do it, I don't have time to do all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to build my calendar, and then I have to build my to-do list.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if I was suggesting to somebody that's listening, I would suggest building a to-do list and a calendar,
Mm-hmm.
and having a library of things to go back to research when they run up against that wall, or they're saying, what do I do now, or this isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
The benefits of farm marketing school is you have your library to and I know I'm selling like a sales pitch, but I think
I did
it's
not tell him to do this.
no, she didn't, but
Thank you. Thank you.
one of the things that Karina, that you tell us is that you can do this for a month, you can do it for 2 months, you can back off, you can come back in. I've stayed, I, I've stayed there for the last couple of years because
Yeah.
it's a benefit,
Yeah.
and it's not something that it's an investment that I believe in. So
Yeah. All right. So what you're kind of describing here is that you first became aware of like, I'm going to start this product because I'm solving this one problem. But then as you moved forward, you
yes,
uncovered that there were actually many other potential ways or problems that this
can solve.
product could solve, or desires, and it's not
Right,
always a problem. Sometimes it's just something people want.
right.
As you were describing the smelly soap and having something nice for people that come to the house, and you have a nice bar of soap there in the bathroom instead of just like Dial. um that
Right.
there's an elevated feeling
Mhm.
about goat soap, and it says something about you as a person if someone sees that you're buying goat soap. Oh, wow,
Correct.
right? And that's what people are going for. I don't know what you call that, but it's this yeah, elevated status, or I know something you don't know, or I value quality, I value
Yeah. Mhm.
taking care of going a little extra mile to take care of myself. Like those are all things that you're also selling.
Right.
But
Mhm.
so you start out with this customer base that you're almost like you're trying to get a subscription going, right? Is that the goal
Right.
that you want people? So let's
I think
talk about your core customer today. And um, I'm also just kind of curious about your best-selling products and like how that's sort of morphed over time. Like what typically happens? Let me start out. Let me back up. How does a person first like discover you? Let's just start at the top of the sales funnel. And
yeah.
then what turns them into a first-time buyer with you?
So I think we've got a couple of them, a couple
Ways in.
directions, or a couple of flows. Um, the ones that start with the health issues, somebody always knows somebody that has eczema, or somebody knows somebody that has kids that have acne, or and when that happens, and they're a person who has already tried it, already believes in the product, then it's a word of mouth, and it's like, you should try this. I've got some stuff that will work, and that's that customer base. Then they just drift in. Sometimes, because we pass out business cards, every bar of soap has, or every order has a business card in it, and usually I throw in two with a website on it, so that somebody, it's like, I'm not giving you my card, but I've got an extra one here,
brilliant.
So it will work. The other stream is the bazaars, and we haven't done any farmers markets yet, but I think I'm going to do one this summer, because we've got one that you can go to or you can't go to. I mean, you can turn it on and off if you want to.
That's
and
good.
So yeah. I don't want to be stuck to not being able to go fishing.
Yep.
Or going on a trip or something. Yep. So, but we're going to try that. But the bazaars are the ones that I've been dealing with most, because that is people that are looking for us, or looking for whatever they're going to bazaars for, because they look for other things too.
You match that, kind of customer big time.
That little niche. And what I've found is that some people go by, with their hands in their pockets, so that you're not at the auction buying something with your hand up in the air, but they go by and they look at what you got, and they think, well, I don't want any goat milk soap. And all you got to do as a salesman is say, smells are free, and they're alphabetical from A to Z. And they stop and they look at you, and then they go to A, because you gave them that direction, and that is apple pie. And if you smell apple pie, it smells like apple pie. And the next one you hand to them, if you can get it in their hand, you got a sale. And they'll buy at least one bar of soap.
Interesting. You've noticed that if you can get them to touch a second bar.
Yep. As they get them to touch it. So the first one's a smell, the second one is a touch. And once they have it in their hand, and then they say, I don't know that I like that as well. What's this one smell like?
And then go through the whole list.
And they will go down from A to Z until they pick what they want, which sometimes it's like, well, make up your mind and go.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people will come to me with the same question that you just asked as we're there, and they'll say, what is your best seller? Because they don't know
overwhelmed
what to do. And we have a jar of coffee grounds there. It's kind of like if you're tasting wine, you have to rinse your palate. Well, if you're smelling soap, you have to rinse your palate as well. So the coffee grounds will kind of clean out your nasal passages a little bit, so where you can start smelling again. So
that's the value bomb in this episode right there. That's cool. Okay, cool.
We have some deals. So when they start gathering up, so that this goes back to building your customer, because the one who comes to the bazaar came today, but I need them to come tomorrow and next week and next month. I need to get their email addresses. I need to be able to send them emails. I need to tell them, hey, we're having a special. I need them to come back for that lifelong customer that
lifetime
I've got.
Customer. Yeah.
Value that's there. And so we have them buying a bar today, and that's $5. I charge them $5. It costs me $1.30. I'm turning a profit. That's a big deal. But I want them to come back. And so if they gather up 6 bars of soap, we have a 6-bar box that actually lowers the price a little bit. And as they're sitting here thinking $5, $5, $5, that's $30. And I give them a deal that says, hey, it's only going to cost you 25 because this is the price that we sell 5 or 6 bars of soap at.
Mm-hmm.
Then that you should see the look in their eyes, the
Mm-hmm.
twinkle that says, hey, I just got a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a box down at the end, which is our starter box,
Mm.
which is what I sent you.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
And
that
that
one.
one is, I mean, that's a loss leader, but it's a starter box. It's like, I don't know what I want. Well, I've got something to let you try it out.
And you
Okay.
call it the starter
I
box, right?
call it a
So
starter
it's
box.
pretty
Yep.
obvious. It's like, okay, just
Yep.
start here.
And at
You're
the start of
overwhelmed.
our store with Local Line, the start of our store says, hey, don't know what you're doing? Here's a starter box.
Yeah.
Here's the steps. And if you
Yeah.
want a gift for somebody, here's a gift box. And if
Yes.
you want to buy 6 bars of soap because you don't want to buy them one at a time, here's the variety box.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, well, let's talk about this starter box because I have it right here
oh.
still.
Okay.
Allan sent this to me a few months ago, actually, and it was a surprise. I didn't know what would be in it. And it's cute. I wish I could show the video. It's a little, what's the dimensions of this box? I don't even know.
Oh,
Maybe like,
5 by 7,
yeah, I was
something
just
like
gonna say
that.
it's like a five
Yeah.
by seven photo frame. It has your Hooves and Feathers logo, which is super cute, stamped on the outside, and that already elevates the experience. And then when I opened it up, I want to just explain what's in a starter box because it's not just soap, right? So do you want to
Right.
talk through, um, do you want me to talk through what I see or do you want to describe it?
You talk through what it's you see, and then
All right.
I'll and if you got
All
a
right.
question about why, I'll jump
Yeah.
in. So yeah.
So I open up the lid and inside, first of all, there's a little letter on the top. That's probably not for everyone, but it was a nice little thank you note or personal note. Do you give a note to everyone in the
They
box?
they usually get one. Sometimes,
Okay.
oftentimes they're handwritten.
Yeah. Well, that was sweet. So a nice personal touch. And then over on the left-hand side, there's the cedarwood swirl. So it's a bar of soap that doesn't, it's not perfectly rectangular either. It's kind of got like a little, I don't know, what do you call that? The edge is, which I like. That makes it
I
feel
call
artisanal, right?
I call them waves.
Waves.
It,
So a
it's
wavy
wave
top.
it's wave it's wavy. Yes.
Yeah, and so that makes it feel, it's almost like a mountain, is what it reminds me of. So that just makes it feel special. Like this isn't just something that was cut in a factory, but it's hand cut or something. And then there's this beautiful wrapping around it that explains what it is, that it's handmade, small batch, and the smells that are coming out of the box when you open it are palpable. And you just want to like, I'm doing it right now. You just want to stick it up to your nose and just keep smelling it. Okay, so underneath that one was a second bar, and this one was spring flowers. I was going to ask you, do you put the same two bars, or do you switch
Nope.
them out?
They get switched out. Yeah.
Okay, so um, you decided what you thought I would like,
I took a
basically.
wild guess.
Okay. But if you were sending it to a man, you might have chosen some different ones,
I
perhaps.
think.
Maybe
Yeah.
not
I don't
spring
remember. I
flower.
don't. I don't remember for sure what was in there, but I think
Yeah,
that cedarwood is a more of a
that's
male
it
smell.
is smell of a male smell, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so underneath that you have these two bracelets. What are these called? They have a name. Like
Wristbands.
yeah, the wristbands, like the Live Strong ones, right? But it has your brand name on it. To the right, then there's a stack of items. The first item is a marshmallow lotion bar, which is in a little tin. Underneath that was a coupon code. Actually, I'm not sure. This might have been somewhere else, but that's where it is now. There's a coupon code in here that says, "Thank you for joining the Hooves and Feathers family. Enjoy 10% off your next purchase with this coupon code." And then it gives the
Yep.
coupon code. Um, that's right out of the playbook in Fire Marketing
It is.
School. You want to talk about why that's important in case people haven't picked that up?
That's where it came from, was right out of the playbook from farm marketing school. And
Yeah.
Local Line has the ability to make coupons. And so I thought, I'm going to see what happens. And it works
Yeah. So what is its
because
design? What is it supposed to do for
it
you as
is
a
designed to get you to come back for the next bar, next box, next order, next whatever you want.
right? So we
And
have to incentivize that behavior
yeah,
sometimes to turn
to
them into a
get people
ritual buyer.
to start that habit
Yeah.
because it is a habit because they can go buy another bar of soap at the grocery store and it'll be Dial or Dove or something
Hmm.
else. I
Hmm.
want them to come back to our soap.
Yeah.
And so this is the incentive to take 10% off
Yeah.
and come back. So
Yeah. Now, underneath that, there's two more things in the starter box that are not soap. And so the first one is a soap dish made out of wood with like grooves in it, so it collects the
moisture.
juices, the moisture. Yep, that is one problem that I've noticed in general with goat soaps is that they tend to dissolve faster. And so if you don't have those little groove kinds of things,
Yeah.
then that can become a sopping mess real fast. And then underneath that is this little netted mesh bag. I know it's soap saver. Is that what they're called? I
The
don't
soap
know.
savers. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a way for you to put in those smaller bits of soap that once they get real small and tiny and start to break apart, and you can still use this as a form of soap because it doesn't fall all over your bathtub. Um,
When you hang those up, they dry out so
and
that,
they dry
you
out.
know, but they still have soap in the material. So as soon as it gets wet, you're
Yeah.
lathered up and you can use
Yeah.
it again. So
So you probably sell these little items individually in your online store too, right?
we do.
But
Yep.
in the
They're
starter
separate.
box, they're all in there. It's sort of
In
like everything you need to
Yep.
get started and have a good experience
Is
with the
included.
soap, right? Because if you just start with the soap, you're going to run into that problem of it's dissolving on me, right? And so
Yep.
you're already mitigating that problem by giving them these
Right. So
items.
we gave them something to stop it with. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited because now I can actually use this because I've been waiting to
I
do this episode.
I was going to tell you you need to be using that stuff and so
I
you'll know
am.
what it's
I'm so
like.
excited now. I'm like, it's been
Yeah.
2 months. Like, I got to get him on the show before I can use this. Um,
Or you could just call me and say I need some more
I
soap.
need another one. I'm going to order one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you have
So
a 10% coupon.
I do. I could come back. I've actually been thinking about if this is something I could offer to my CSA members in my own store. So I'm just sort of thinking. Um, you could become a wholesaler for me. All
I have a
right.
wholesale, so I have a wholesale price list and a wholesale
Do you
customer base.
really?
I
Oh,
do.
we're going to
Yeah.
talk. This is
Yeah.
good.
So I have some other stores that are putting soap in their stores. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice. Well, I did have a
not
question about the so the amount of soap that a person typically gets from you on their first visit.
hmm
Like what do you want it to be? Because there's a part of me that would be worried if they get 10 bars of soap, they're not coming back for a long time. How do I establish that
Yeah.
ritual? So
I
what does
know
that look like?
we talked about that a year ago, I think it was, or whenever we did that. And you asked me how many bars of soap does a person go through, and that I should survey my customer base to see how often they use it. And guess what? I still haven't done that.
Okay.
I I can go back through my order reports on people who are my solid customers,
Mm-hmm.
and I can tell you that they usually go through about 6 bars in a month
Okay.
because my VIP customers buy a 6 bar box about once a month. And
Okay.
so
Well,
and
that's helpful.
and that's with a family of 3 to 4.
Okay. Well, and they
You know,
probably have multiple bathrooms and they might be
I'm
using it,
sure. Yeah.
in the mudroom and in the wherever,
Yeah.
right?
hmm
Okay.
And as it gets low, then they say, well, we need to order some more.
Yeah.
And so I get an order and it has little comments down in the comment section that says, we're getting running a little low, so we need some. So I've kind of looked at it. I haven't done the interview questions yet, and I
I
probably
don't
need
know if
to.
you need to now. I mean, if you can look at the data and see that,
Yeah,
that's probably all you need, but it
yeah,
does help you see what is
and I can't build that on the people who buy it at the,
Yeah,
in at the public
at the
settings,
public
because
setting.
until they get into the queue and
Hmm.
respond back, because I one of the other things I do at the bazaars is I give away a box of 4 bars of soap every eventful day. So like we're gonna have one on Valentine's Day, we had one on Christmas Eve, we had one on Thanksgiving, and in exchange for that, you can throw your little tag into the.
Mm.
It's
Yes.
a little, if you want to get on our mailing list,
Yep.
and I tell them you're going to be on our mailing list
Hmm.
in
And
exchange
you
for your email address, in exchange for a chance to get
enter to win. Yeah.
enter to win.
Hmm.
And I think I've got almost 700 and some people on
Wow.
our mailing list through Kit. So
And that's how you grow. I was going to ask, how are you growing your list? Is it
that's
predominantly
typically this way.
and then word of
I
mouth,
grow it
people
this way.
just,
Some
yeah.
people, I've got a I've got some things on our website that says if you're interested, click here.
Hmm.
I drew a blank. What do we call those?
Lead magnets. Yeah.
Lead magnet. Thank
Hmm.
you. That you're supposed to have like 2 of or 4 of or something every
Hmm.
time. Anyway, I put those out there. I get some. I mean,
Hmm.
every now and then you get somebody that pops up that says, local line sends me an email that says you got a new customer,
Hmm.
and then they don't buy anything, which
So they
cues
register
them.
for your store.
It cues,
Yeah.
yeah, but it cues
Yeah.
them over into. I'd use Zapier, and I moved them over into. If they come in as a new customer, they're going to go to Kit. They're
Good.
going to start getting an email trickle. So
That's right. You're using Zapier. You're one of my
yeah,
brave
so
farmers. I love it. Okay.
I'm learning slow.
How are you communicating your offers then? Like if you're predominantly going to bazaars and that's just,
Mhm. People
that's
that walk by. Yep.
right. But if for people who are on your email list or people who are
Hmm.
subscribers, you're obviously emailing them. So tell me what does your communication and your marketing
So
look like there? What's the frequency and the cadence?
so I have a trickle program that
Like a
they
nurture
get.
sequence? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep, that they get to. Nothing says buy soap right now.
Mm-hmm.
It says welcome to our farm.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to our family. Here's a picture of my wife and I.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is what we do. Here's our cows. Here's our chickens. Here's our pigs. In fact, we set it up and it's like that on our website. It's set up as a novel, and I use that as the introduction is welcome to the novel welcome to the next chapter of our
Chapter.
lives, and here is a novel that explains what we've got, and then each of our chapters is, we have tales about the chickens, and we have um, the
Yeah.
cows, and each one of them has a different title, but it's related to a novel, a chapter in the novel. And so we don't talk about soap until we get down to we have pigs, and they make lard, and the lard turns into soap. Oh, and now we have the ability to sell you soap if you need soap.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that sequence is welcome to us, and
Yeah.
every one of them has a unsubscribe button at the bottom. So if they're tired of it or they don't want to hear about it,
Yeah.
and I tell them up front that I'm not going to give them a daily or a weekly pitch. So some people can, and I know that's part of our marketing is that they need to get
Mm-hmm.
a, a regular one, but we give them regular, but it's not as often
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get some that are like every day I
Yeah.
signed up for another person who sells soap in another state over, and I get a you should buy soap every day email. And I know what I do with those. I
Mm-hmm.
don't look at them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want them to be an everyday thing. And I don't know if she sent one out every week, if I would review it every week either. I might every
Yeah.
2 weeks I would look at it and say, hey, that's pretty neat. I think I'll try that, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, or I might be
But
willing to buy
but
something.
it's smart for you to actually subscribe to some other
Yeah,
people that do what you do because you can see how are they marketing and
yeah,
how are you'll get some ideas of what not to do,
yeah,
as in
yeah.
this case, but
Or
also
what, or
what to
what to
do.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So that's a little
yeah.
nugget of wisdom. Super smart there. All right, farmers, let me ask you something as we step into a brand new year. Do you actually feel ready for the marketing side of your farm business? Or are you quietly hoping you'll figure it out as you go, like last season? How'd that work out for you? If marketing your farm feels like a constant scramble, something you know matters but never quite gets the time or clarity it deserves, you are not alone. I hear this from farmers every single week, and that's exactly why I created Farm Marketing School to help you. Farm Marketing School is my monthly membership designed to help farmers build a simple, repeatable marketing system that actually fits into your real farm life. Inside, you will find bite-sized, step-by-step, do-it-yourself marketing projects that take the overwhelm out of things like writing sales emails or how to plan your promotions, how to build your social media strategy, how to update the homepage of your website, how to write an email nurture sequence, or setting up systems that work on autopilot even when you're busy in the field. Each month, you choose what to focus on, and I walk you through exactly how to do it with my on-demand video trainings and my bonus resources. And you're not alone doing this. Each month, we meet live on Zoom where you can ask questions, get group coaching, and hear what's working for other farmers. It's like having a farm marketing mentor and a room full of peers in your corner. This is not a massive, overwhelming course. The projects are designed to be completed in under 30 days so that you're making real progress without marketing taking over your life. So if this is the year you want to stop winging it and finally feel confident in a marketing system that brings in steady sales, I'd love to welcome you into Farm Marketing School. Join today at mydigitalfarmer.com/FMS. That's mydigitalfarmer.com/FMS. And now back to the show. Okay, so
I also,
you're doing like a monthly, at least a monthly email to the list to try and just
I,
poke them and say,
well,
"Hey, it's time."
yeah. And then I do broadcasts. So if
Okay.
I'm going to be at a bazaar for all the local people, because
Oh,
I got
yeah.
people scattered all over the United States. I
Yeah.
mean, I ship soap to Florida and California, and I've got some in Alaska, and I've got
Wow.
customers moving. But but if they live in Alaska, they're not going to come to the bazaar over in Homedale, which is the
Yeah.
next town over. So I preface the broadcast that goes out and says, if you're local and
Yeah.
you're wanting to come get a, see what new things we have, and we're going to be there on this weekend or this day or whatever.
Mhm.
I also send out broadcasts for the winners of
Right.
the raffle box,
Hmm.
which always somebody wins the raffle box, and then five more people say, "Oh crap, I need to order soap."
Yes, it
So
becomes an excuse, right?
it's a reminder, it's an excuse.
Hmm.
It's like I didn't win, but I need to order. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, I
Let's just
we
stop
need
there for a second because
okay,
that's just a good tip for everyone listening. I do that too. Sometimes my emails don't have like an overtly promotional angle. I'm just telling them something cool that happened on the farm, or I'm sharing a funny picture of, the boys with their snowmobiles or whatever. And then in the PS, I'm like, I give them a link if they want to,
right.
go to the store. And there's always, always at least one or two people that buy. So, like you just said, it just triggers, oh, I meant to do that. And here it's easy. Here's the link. I don't have to go find it. So that's something that you can all be leveraging. There's value in sometimes just sharing an email that is just connecting, but it's going to cause some people to buy. Yeah.
I also send out, like, if we come up with new products, and I'm also coming up.
Mm.
I tried it last year with some monthly boxes because I wanted to advertise for January. I want to do one for February. I want to do one for March. They they didn't go over really good. They were okay, but I was making new soaps for each month's box. And so I was having to stay 6 weeks, ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've done, I talked my administrative assistant, commonly known as ChatGPT, into coming up with utilizing I think I got 78 different smells, brands, colors, bars of soap, and coming up with utilizing our current inventory and making them into a monthly box.
Mm.
I'm going to see how that works this year.
Okay, so it's
I don't
like
know.
you decide what goes in the box. It's a surprise
Yes.
box.
Yep. It'll
Okay.
be. Um, and then, and that way, I mean, they're going to know that it's going to have these four bars of soap in it. And if they haven't tried it before, maybe it'll give them an option to, say, hey, I haven't tried that one. Maybe
Yeah.
it smells good, or,
I wonder if you
it's
could do like a smaller sized like thing,
little ones.
little mini ones that are positioned as bonus gifts in boxes that hit a certain average order value, just to expose them to a scent
To a
that they
different
haven't
one.
tried yet. That's a
We,
different, production
yeah,
kind of thing,
we
but
also do,
it feels like a freebie, which is
yeah.
generous, right?
Well, and we do that. I trade in because I teach CPR in my spare time.
Oh.
And so every week I have a class, and at each class they get a sample bar of soap,
Mm.
and they get an opportunity. I don't know if you can
Oh, you can see that. Yeah.
to
Card.
fill out one of those things again
Yeah.
in exchange for, so it goes on my list.
Yeah.
So I keep a coat pocket full of sample bars that I pass out when we're there that has a
Okay.
QR code on the back of it and a website on the
Yeah.
on the front. So the QR code takes you to the store, the website takes you to our website.
Yeah.
Um,
You're bringing up though an issue of like as you're developing new product and new
mhm,
scents and new like how do you get people to adopt it?
yeah,
And that's probably a challenge that you face as a producer.
right. Well, and
Um,
so I do send those out on broadcast. If we develop
okay.
new ones, I'll send them out a note and say, "Hey, we just made." I'll send them a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Here's 10 new bars of soap that we just cut out of a brick,
Yeah.
and this is a new scent, new color, new design, whatever. I've also had a customer, one of them, that came back and said, "I would like uh, a little dish to put on my bathroom counter." So like guest soaps, I guess you might call them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can make those. That's not a problem. You just pour them in a different mold and pop them out. Um, I I'm keeping thinking, how am I going to inventory those, and how am I going to keep them on the shelf so that I know that I have, and I'm probably not going to make 78 of those.
Yeah.
So which
Right.
one of the 78 do I make into those little stars, or,
Right.
shellfish or whatever?
Right.
And then, and I haven't done this. This is in the process. I'm trying to figure out
Mm-hmm.
how we're gonna how we're gonna do it,
Develop that.
and if it will work. I mean, this is just
Yeah.
one person that said, "Hey, I would like this," but that's how things have developed, right?
Yeah.
And if I can, do I find little dishes on Amazon that are cheap, or do I go to the dollar store, or do I go to the Salvation Army store and just pick up other people's cast-offs, or do I just make them a Ziploc bag that has
How does it get
10,
packaged
10
and
bars of 10
presented?
little bricks of
Yeah.
soap in it, little thing. I don't know. But again, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the fun. We'll play.
Yeah, you'll
We'll
figure it
see where it
out.
goes.
Let me ask you, when you go to your store, your local line store, is there just like tons of inventory there and like with all these different options and permutations, variations, how are you organizing? What like that seems like that would be a little overwhelming as
So
on your end to decide, make those
it,
decisions.
it does. So we had a our marketing school class on websites
Hmm.
and how to set up. I drew a blank. What do we call them?
The homepage or the online store part?
In
The
the it was in the
categories?
store. It was in the store because we looked at it.
Yeah. How to set
Groups.
up the
What were they?
categories.
Thank you. Categories. Yeah, it was a groups. So you can look at you can look at the gifts. You can look at women's scents. You can look at men's scents. You can look at facial
Mm.
bars. You can look at um, lotions, the lotion bars, and we put them. You can, and then if you don't like flowers, well then why don't you go to the wood scents? Because I've
Mm.
got a category of wood scent, I've got a category of flower scent, I got a category of food scents,
Mm.
spices, so that and you can go to the bottom and look through all of them if you want to, yes.
Yeah.
But if you're jumping in and you say, well, I don't like this and I do like that,
Right. Or bestsellers
here's
or
our yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That's smart.
I
So you become, and this is important for all of you who have huge inventories. It's so imperative that you become the curator of those items. You have to help your customer organize it. Um, and you'll see greater sales as a result because people, they need to find the product. And if it's hard to find because it's just all randomly just jumbled in there, with no sense of order, that's more difficult for their brain to waddle through. Yeah.
That's also the same thing that we do at our bazaars is our racks are set up so that
Mm,
and everybody comes in here and they look at this and there's 75 or whatever bars of soap and it's like, where do I start?
hmm.
That's why they're alphabetical.
Yeah.
So alphabetical is easier for me to know where they are so that when they say I would like something that smells like a fruit, I can point to this one, that one, that one, and that one.
Hmm.
So they can smell watermelon or they can smell peaches or they can smell cherries.
Yeah.
Um, if I could put, I mean, if we had more room at the bazaar, we could put them in groups so that all the cherries are here and all the watermelons are there. And we might try that and see how it works one day.
Yeah.
But but the alphabetical thing seems to be working. Um, again, though, but you just mentioned something about having to be the curator and having to be there to when they say, and it's nice to ask them or what do you like? Because
Hmm.
if they tell me, oh, I don't like flowers, then we're not going to point them into the flower bin.
Hmm.
Um, we're going to talk about things that they do like. And well, then maybe you ask them, well, do you like the smell of wood? Because if you have wood, I've got cedarwood, sandalwood, um, cedarwood swirls. We got some different varieties. We've got mahogany and all these different types of things that we can go into the wood category.
Hmm.
If you like spices, we've got a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
And so we can lead them to the direction, get one in their hand,
Hmm.
get
Yeah.
two in their hand. Now they've got a choice.
Right.
Now they might want to just buy both of them. And if they say, well, I don't really know which one of these two I like, then I tell them, well, we do have a box that you can put four of those in.
Mm.
Or if they get up and they've got five in their hand and they're ready to spend five times five is $25, I can say, you know, for $25, you can actually get another bar of soap. And
Hmm.
here's our variety box. So again, it goes back to marketing,
Hmm.
face to face marketing when you're
Yeah.
talking to it and solving a problem. Because
Hmm.
again, if they've only got 20, $30,
Yeah.
how can I give them something that will benefit them?
Yeah. I'm just wondering too, do you have to do a lot of explaining of the goat, the health benefits and you know, the manufacturing process, or do you find that most people have already done that research before they've come to your online store? Like
Most of
how
them have,
educated of a buyer are they?
yeah, most of them have heard that goat milk soap is good for you. That is kind
Okay.
of
All
that's
right.
the, do they, have they done the research? Have they read my white paper that's in my website? No. But if I explain to them the benefits of vitamin A and E and
Mm-hmm.
omegas 3 and 6 in as far as their skin and their health, if I explain the benefits of coconut oil being an antibacterial and that the activated charcoal and the Navajo clay is a good facial,
Yeah.
in using good facial ingredients, that's usually it.
Okay.
And
That's all they
if you've
need.
got three people there looking and you're explaining it to one, the other two are listening.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I mean, there is a repetitiveness of, especially at a in-person bazaar, you're going to say it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, on our website and on our emails that go out, we do explain that. It's
Yes.
part of the process. Once we get into the soap angle, it's like, here is the benefits of it. And if you really want to dig in deeper, here's a link that will take you to uh, a white paper that explains why it has beneficial value
Yeah.
to your health.
You have been inside of farm marketing school. I think you're one of my longest members, actually. Um, 17 months is what my tech marks say.
Okay.
When did you realize that you needed more structure around your marketing and messaging, or what was the reason that you decided to come in? That might not even be the reason.
So my degree at college is in business and administration, and we had a lot of classes about marketing and all the things that go along with business
Hmm.
administration. But there's a difference in marketing when I went to college and their marketing now. I mean,
Hmm.
we have a lot of digital stuff. There's a lot of online things. There's a lot of changes have happened in that period of time. And I've always been an entrepreneur, had that mindset. It's like, I'll do something if it works, great. If it doesn't, we should start a business.
Hmm.
Which kind of sometimes you jump in without knowing how to swim. But when I started, I mean, I mentioned up front that the reason that I
Yeah.
started in this was because I needed to figure out how I was going to sell beef to individual people rather than selling them at the sales yard for half the money that they're worth. And that was the main goal. And I don't remember for sure how it popped up on probably on my Facebook page that said you need to you need to be interested in our marketing school and Corinna Bench and listening to her podcasts and all that stuff. I didn't do the podcast to start with. I I think I just jumped in, and if it was 17 months ago, that's when it probably happened. But I looked at it as an opportunity for me to add to the things that I already knew
Hmm.
and then fulfill the gaps of the things that I didn't.
Hmm.
And about the first, it was a cheap investment.
Hmm.
Um, I paid a lot more money than that to go to college.
Hmm.
And even if I pay you every month until I'm no longer here, it's still going to be less than I paid to go to college. So, but it gave me that library,
Yeah.
the ability to go back and look and say, okay, here's that 30-day project. And am I doing it? Am I doing it right? What do I need to do to fix it?
What is, as we wrap up here, why don't you talk to my audience about what is one lesson or two lessons from your journey that you think other small producers need to hear? You can repeat yourself if you've already said it, or maybe it's just something you haven't had a chance to communicate yet.
Well, I think I've said it, but I think it's important to have a library of resources that you can go to when you have a question, when you have the feel a need and don't know for sure where to go. I think it's important I know you said one lesson, but I got two.
Yeah, go
Um,
for it.
don't give up, you know, and know that we don't have time to do everything, but you need to prioritize what you are doing so that you can be in charge of marketing your product. Because I think you need to be in charge of your product and your business. If you just wait for people to come to your door, they're probably going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. You'll be waiting a long time.
Yeah.
Well, we could go on and on. We didn't even get to your website. Your website is so beautiful. It has come a long way. I love it so much. And where can people go to learn more about Hooves and Feathers if they want to study
So
what you're doing?
you just got to take the spaces out from between the words and just type in hoovesandfeathers.com, and it will take you right straight to our website. So,
Yeah. You want to see a beautiful store, go check it out. If you want to purchase his soaps, check it out. Apparently, he's also willing to wholesale to you. So you might get some
yep.
business. Watch out from this
Yeah.
podcast.
You're right.
Thank
It's
you.
a business. So,
Thank you so, so much for taking all this time this morning to hang out with me and share your story. I really, really appreciate you so
well,
much.
thank you for everything that you've done and having the library to go look at. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview. You can find today's show notes at mydigitalfarmer.com/350. And if you liked this episode, please share it with a farmer. You can grab the link, text it to them, email it to them, help the word get out that this podcast exists. If you want to get onto my email list and get better at your marketing, please go subscribe at mydigitalfarmer.com/subscribe. I got some free stuff to send your way and it's really good. I'm also on Instagram at mydigitalfarmer. I would love to connect with you there. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. Have an amazing week. And remember, I believe in you. Bye-bye.